Alright, welcome to another video of the Target Individual Program. Just left Pam house. Because they're targeting me very heavily today. Very, very heavily. So, they had her call me after work. She usually call me to let me know that she's leaving. But this time she wanted to have a conversation. Right? And at the same time, the fire trucks would just finish passing with the noise campaign, and then you hear the fire trucks again, and then on her end there was a fire trucks, and I know the fire truck just might have drove right past her because it was loud. And so you hear the fire trucks here now. You hear the fire trucks here now, because since I started the video, and I didn't start when I left her apartment building right away, but I waited till I had to go into the store to get some change for the bus. But yeah, so on top of that, they logged me out of my Facebook. Right? They literally logged me out of my Facebook. Okay, and again, I have to record these things and show you guys what it is that they're doing. Right? Let's see if I can flip this around. Okay. You see? Let's see if I can flip this around. Here they go. Yeah. Yeah, this has been all day. All day. Okay? This has been all day. Right? All day, man. So, yeah. Alright, so anyway, so she came in the house and started targeting me. She stood up in front of the kitchen, and as I walked past the kitchen, I had to go to the bathroom. She stick her index finger out, this one, and I told you guys that she had on blue nail polish on her fingers, and then she looks at me, and then I know we were being microwave, because all of a sudden I just started to become fixated on her uniform. Right? Her uniform is also a navy blue. Okay? And so I realized what was happening, and so I end up going into the bathroom. I came out of the bathroom. When I came out of the bathroom, she had took off her top uniform, and she had on a pink long johns underneath. Right? And as I walked past her again, she looked at me, turned around, and looked out the window. Okay? So, this shit is just like unbelievable, right? So, like I said, so this is what's going on. Then, like I said, on top of that, they logged me out of my Facebook page. Okay, let me turn the camera back around. Right? So they logged me out of my Facebook page. Okay? And oh, wait. Here's another thing they love to do. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Now it's done. Now, so what they like to do sometimes is follow up with the Con Edison truck, right? So I just missed it. I was trying to switch the camera around, but it wouldn't do it. It wouldn't do it, and I have no doubt that they hack into my phone. That's why. Because again, I record everything. I realize, and I can see how they target me and what they do to target me, and their method. All right. So now you hear police sirens now, right? And like I said, this is all day. This is all day, all friggin' day, right? So look, now I just touch the screen, and the camera flips around, no problem. With the Con Edison truck passing by, I couldn't do it because again, they didn't want me to get that, because that's part of their targeting scheme that they'll do. Sometimes with the fire trucks, and then follow around by the Con Edison truck, and I haven't been able to catch that before. But again, this has been done to me so many times, sometimes I forget about it. But then when I start to see it again, it comes back, right? So yeah. So like I said, they logged me out of my Facebook page. Right? They logged me out of my Facebook page. And so now I have to go onto Facebook just to log back in. And there's a reason why they do these things. Okay? There is a reason why they do these things, right? And it's something with the graphics logo of Facebook, the color, again, blue, you know, with some white, what have you. Okay, so again, I have to show these things because I need these things as proof. And like I said, because I didn't log out, I was just on Facebook when I was by Pam, just on Facebook. I walked outside and I just clicked Facebook, and this is what, you know, normally I don't do that. I don't usually walk outside and click Facebook. I usually walk outside and then I just turn on my phone camera. But again, this is the technology at work, right? Silence on spectrum, giving me instructions, commanding me to do these things, right? Using my own thoughts. Well, not my own thoughts, but the thoughts that have been projected into my mind for me to, you know, I like when outside, pull up Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So again, when I talk about directed energy programs, when I talk about silence on spectrum, and you hear the sirens, yeah? Because again, they know what I'm talking is true, and they know that what it is that they're doing, using the NYPD, using these technologies that they're given to them by the CIA and the FBI, okay? And I showed you guys earlier the damage that they have caused me, the neurological damage, and I'm gonna have to get a copy. I have a copy of my MRI for my back and my X-ray for my back, and you'll see the extensive damage that they've caused me. Okay, so like I said, when they want to act as if what it is that they're doing doesn't harm you in any sense, it's a lie. Okay. All right. So let's see how long I gotta wait for a bus, because you know this is retaliation, right? You know this is retaliation, so I gotta see how long I'll wait for a bus, right? I see a lot of these dollar cabs now, and it's funny because this morning, before she left for work, I was in the foyer. She was, you know, getting some stuff, and she had a dollar bill in her hands, right? She had a dollar bill in her hand. So I went to the store to ask the guy for change for the bus. I gave him $2. I said, listen, you don't have to just give me quarters, you can give me dimes and nickels too. Also, I just need $1.35. So he says, I'm gonna give you $1. That's all I'm gonna give you. And I'm like, wow, okay. You know? I'm like, okay. Yeah, but this is what they're doing, you know? So anyway, so as I said, so Pam this morning does that. I go to the store, he don't want to get the change from me, he just want to give me $1. Again, this is what is called neuro-linguistic programming, power association, right? When they're conditioning them and controlling them and manipulating them to do these things. Okay? So, you know, I have no doubt of the technology at work. Right? I have no doubt about it. I know it exists. People may not want to believe it, but it exists. Right? So, let me go back. Alright, so anyway, you know, it's tough. You know what I'm saying? It's tough. You know, I'm there with the kids and she's targeting me, and it makes it very hard because the kids don't want to go back to the babysitter, you know, and what they'll do is that there are moments where she won't target me when she's acting nice and speaking nicely, you know, and then like I said, she always gets, I always figure out, like, whenever she starts talking to her ex, then I see a change, right? I see a change, and it's a negative change towards me, and a negative behavior towards me, you know? And so, and when I call her out on this, she's like, oh, it's not you, it's not him, it's you, and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, well, if that's the case, why is it that every time, you know, you don't hear from this guy, you're much more nicer, you know, all of a sudden you want to listen to what I'm saying, but then as soon as you hear from this guy, it's like, whatever, you know? And, you know, I peep it, I see it, you know? You know, she's a narcissist, he's a narcissist, he's playing her and she's trying to play me. You know? He is not who she wants. He just keeping her around. And I'm definitely not who she was. Since I found out that she was cheating and doing all this stuff, and that right there, you know, when you uncover the mask of a narcissist, this is how they behave. Now the thing is that I have kids with these women, right? With this woman, and I told her, I said, you know what? I will watch the kids, no problem, if you go get therapy. I gave her 3 or 4 references for therapists, and not once has she said to me, hey, thank you, and I looked at the you know, the information that you gave me, not once, because she's not interested. You know, I was watching Kevin Samuels, and there was this young woman on there. She's a Canadian woman, and you know, the way how she sounds kind of, you know, remind me of Pam in a certain way. Is that you know, you have women who living in their own space, in their own head, and they think that the world revolves around them, and men too. So I'm not going to just put it on the woman, but from my experience, I'm talking about my experience, right? That the world revolves around them, and us men have to cater to them in every single way, right? Which is fine, but the problem is that they feel that they don't have to cater to us in those exact same way, and that's the problem. That's the problem with relationships today and how women are conditioned today. Okay, it isn't an even exchange. It's women somehow feel because they have a vagina that, you know, that makes them more valuable than a man. So us men got to treat them more, you know, women. I treat women more valuable because they are the creators of life, right? They create life within their womb, so they are the most important. But understand this, us men are important too, because it is our divine waters that fertilize their seed, which is the egg. So when men talk about it, you know, I'm gonna, you know, put my seed. You don't have no seed, bro. Your sperms are not seed, okay? Huh? The woman eggs the seed. You have the divine water. It's like nature. When you put a seed in the ground, the rain comes, right? Right? That rain acts as with the earth, you know, helps with the fertilization of that seed so that plant can grow. Right? Men, our divine waters, okay? Fertilize that egg, that divine, and within her divine womb, life is created. So we all are divine creatures. All right? Our divinity doesn't rest in God. Our divinity resteth in us from the time we are created within our mother's womb. Right? From the time our father, divine waters, implants that or fertilize that egg within the divine feminine woman. Look. What's this now? Police. Right? Yeah. Look, I can't even switch over. I can't even switch over. Oh shoot, I can't even switch over to show. There you go. There you go, going up there. I couldn't even switch over, man. You know what I'm saying? I could not even switch over. That's to tell you. Right? That's to tell you. And again, no bus. No bus. It's an early night. No bus. Right? Every other, from the past 3 weeks, I've been over by Pam, and sometimes I leave to go home. Never had a problem. But today, because of how they were targeting me, you know, this is what happens. Right? So, again, but you see all these dollar cabs. Why? Why? Because they want me to spend money. I mean, I am spending money in the bus, but I get a transfer to take a dollar cab. That means I got to pay $4 to go home. But again, it's the number game that they love to play. Right? So they would rather keep me out here for about an hour, maybe even more, to where I might say, okay, you know what? I need to take the dollar van. Right? but a bus should have been. Actually, I think a bus is coming. All right, yep, a bus is coming. So scratch that, scratch that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, sometimes they'll do it, and sometimes they won't. You know, but I've not been waiting out here too long for a bus. And look, 2 buses come. 2 buses come, one after the next. All right, I gotta put this on pause, and I'll start recording when I get off of my stop. Okay. All right, got off for 1 bus. I usually take the the bus all the way to Remington Avenue. I guess it's 17, but the way how it looks like the bus is running tonight up here on Utica Avenue, because the bus arrives a little bit quicker, and I don't want to be stuck waiting for half an hour for a bus or even an hour for a bus. All right, so this is what they do, man. You know. So yeah. So look at him sticking to his pinky finger. Look, you see this? See him? It's funny. Guy with the Target bag comes stand up next to me and sticking his pinky finger out. You know, he loves to do shit like that. You know? Yeah, so this program, man, is something else, you know, and you know, they'll try to bribe you, okay, into going along with their evil scheme. They'll try to use women, okay. And many times, particularly when when I was in school, you know, just to mess them off, I go in the lunchroom to lunch, and you know, these women will come and these young ladies will come and sit down next to me, and they'll stare at me, and everybody in the cafeteria will be looking at me to see if I'm gonna talk to her or what have you, and I'm, you know, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, we've been through this already. It's not gonna happen again. All right, they've been through this too many times. Not gonna happen again. You know, the honey traps. That's what they said. They sent honey traps. You know. So, you know, once I understand the terminology, you know, that came out due to Edward Snowden revelation, and also the fact that the Guardian published documents which talks about the FBI using children and the parents of children to be snitches and paying them, and how they would pay snitches to, you know, make accusations, right? And some of these, majority of these people were lying. They were making upwards of over $5 million a year, right? Lying. And the FBI, they didn't care. Same thing with the police department. You'll get snitches who they'll threaten with jail, or some drug addict, give them drugs to say this person, they bought drugs from this apartment, and all this stuff. All the shit that goes on in America, people still trust the fucking police. Excuse my language. Right? All the shit that goes on in America, people still trust the police. Right? I posted an article on Facebook, and maybe that's why they logged me out of Facebook. You know, I don't know what's going on with Facebook. That's why they log me out. Usually they're probably spreading some type of propaganda, some shit. You know, so I have no access to see it right now. You know, and really and truly, I'm not going to log it, because, you know, that's probably what they want. You know. So I posted an article of this guy who, in 1985, right? These 2 police officers came at his house. His mom was there. Placed him, you know, he placed him in handcuffs. He says, "Why are you arresting me?" They didn't tell him nothing. So he said he asked about 50 times, and the 51st time they said, "We're arresting you for burglary, assault, kidnapping, some shit like that. You know, sexual assault, kidnapping, right?" And the dude was like, "Yo, I didn't do it. That's not me." All right, my bus come. I'll continue later. Yeah, so let me tell you guys how they work. So when I was at the other bus stop catching the 35 bus, all right, the guy in the store came out of the store and he had an empty bottle in his hand. He put it in the garbage, right? So, you know, there's a reason why they do this, right? That's the reason why the bus took long to come, right? And because of that, you know, the easiest thing for me to do is take the 46, because those buses come faster, you know, even though the 17 drops me right in front of my house. But if I go to get the 17, I have to wait. See how quick this bus came, right? So I get off the bus stop and there's a glass bottle, right at the bus stop. Okay, but again, understand the psychology and what's at work, right? Because if you're a TI and you're religious, you think that it's some type of spiritual religious thing going on. But I talked about this. You guys have to, right? You guys have to read up on Jay Lifton, the 7 criteria of thought reform, right? One of those criteria is called Milu. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's to create a concept in the minds of the person being brainwashed that something divine or spiritual is going on, but it's not, right? And so here's another thing they would normally do too, is with the budget trucks. They would use the budget trucks all the time at my target. And so again, I see here now, they repeated things again. They always rehearse these things, and I haven't seen this in a while, you know. And it's funny too, because Pam was on the phone with her friend and she was talking about, oh, you know, moving is the most expensive thing. The expensive thing is moving. And it's to tell you how quick that they are in terms of, see the red car pulls off now? And the reason why the red car pulls off, because it letting me know that they control, you know, these things, and you know, they control the people around me, right? But again, because I understand the program and I know what's going on, it no longer has the same effect, right? It no longer has the same effect. When I see these things happening, I know it's manipulation. There's nothing natural about it. There's no divinity in it. You know, there's no supernatural in it, right? There's no spirituality in it, right? It is all a harassment campaign that is psychologically based on a psychological program, as well as the use of directed energy weapons, right? So, Jewish guy running out of his house, showing me 4 fingers. Couldn't get to, you know, turn to shore because to catch it on camera, because he was moving really quick. See how fast he's walking, right? He flew out of his house, man. Again, because the synchronization. As he's walking, he put his hands on top of his head, right? You hear the police sirens in the background? You hear that? Hope you guys hearing that. Okay? Right, so as I was saying, right? So it is manipulation and the use of mind control technologies, right? So, what was I saying before? Yes, so in 1985, there was a young man who 2 detective white police officers showed up at his door, arrested him, you know, put him in handcuffs. His mother was dead, mother's crying, charged him with a crime that he didn't do. And you know what the police officer says to him? They said, we don't care if you didn't do it. We're going to arrest you, we're going to prosecute you, and we're going to convict you. Right? How many black men have been put in prison by these racist cops in this racist system? How many thousands? I say thousands. Okay? Possibly hundreds of thousands. Right? that this was happened to. I keep telling you guys, they will always find new ways and new tactics to put black men in prison. And now they're using women in a way in which they've never used before, particularly our black women. And I'm speaking as a black man, not just as a TI, right? Now they're using black women, right, in a way in which they've never used them before. And what they have done, and they've done it through economics, jobs, in which black women are now turning their face up at black men because they make more than us, right? Because they would hire more black women now than black men, okay? Because they understand that the black woman's mind, they know how to manipulate it using materialism, right? Using the, I only want a man that's making 6-figure. I only want a man that's a doctor, a lawyer. It's more so now than ever, right? And so you have these black women who, they feel like by dating an ordinary guy that they're settling. So they spend their life dating high-value men who won't marry them because guess what? There are too many women out there so they know that they are prized. And they know too many women out there are willing to settle for them, and they are settling even though they are making a lot of money. But the women are settling, and they're not settling for marriage. They're settling for being the other woman, right? Being the side chick or the other chick. That's what they're settling for, right? So, again, understand the war, black men and black women. I understand the war targeted individuals against us, that they have experimented on us, have illegally implanted a microchip in us, and then they're trying to cover it up and get away with it. Like I said, it is a perfect crime. They have been committed for decades now, but it's going to stop, and we have to take up the mantle as those before us and continue on. Okay? This is what we all have a responsibility to do that as human beings. These people that are doing this to us, they're not human beings. And they don't even consider themselves to be human beings. Right? They're a whole set of evil species. Alright? Just remember that. See you guys in the next video.